Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife that I got in the pass around. Very cool. This is a Kunwu Knives Django. All right, so let's talk about this knife. Now this is a pass around knife. It's not a knife that's my personal collection. It's not a knife I get to use and abuse and beat up or anything like that. It's a knife that's just in my collection for me to check out. All right, so just so you know, full disclosure, I'm not gonna go out there and abuse it, take it apart. I'm not doing any of that. This is a loaned knife, okay? So I don't do that with loaned knives. But man, I was so glad to get a chance to check this out. So the knife name is the Django, D-J-A-N-G-O. So J-A-N-G-O. So cool knife. This is a crossbar lock. They have a proprietary name for it too, right? You know, or at least they have a name for their lock. Some people will call it the able lock, the river lock, the crossbar lock, the axis lock, whatever. It depends on whoever else. I know Benchmade first created this, but you know the patent ran out and everybody else has been doing it. So it is made by Kunwu Knives. They're their own company. Very, very good job on this one here. The manufacturer, Kunwu, the knife name is the Django. The designer, it's an in-house. I believe the gentleman who owns Kunwu designed this and he did a fantastic job. I had a Padre, and it reminds me of the Padre, but a smaller, more reasonable EDC size version. The Padre is way too big. And now there's even an XL Padre. That's just, you know, if you like oversized knives, go for it. Not my cup of tea, and I'm glad he decided to have a few of these. This is cool. The one I want is really the carbon fiber with the DLC coating. That's the one I want to get, and I need to, you know, try to get that one. This is cool. This is an Elmax blade steel satin finish, beautifully done. Titanium handles. It's got a nice texture. It's not super rough and tear you up, but it does give you texture to grip. Has a titanium clip. It is a wire clip, so it comes with a wire clip, and you can put that in, or you can get this titanium mill clip, which is nice. I like that. T8 hardware all around. This is the crossbar lock, and it's kind of with these little thumb studs, which work really nice. Some people are like, oh, it's kind of soft. Well, you know, that's axis lock, crossbar locks. That's just how they are. You know, I don't want it to be ridiculous where I can't flip it out. So, you know, the whole thing about a crossbar lock is you can do the slow roll, left and right-handed. It is truly ambidextrous, right? It does work really nice. So there is that. I think that's pretty stinking cool. I enjoy that. Now, as a lefty, you know, if you were lefty, you can move it over there and it works really great. It has a back spacer back here that's in there. It has a lanyard loop that you can definitely use. It's relatively deep carry. It's not super ultra high, hidden deep carry, but it's definitely not really high. Blade to handle ratio is definitely not perfect. It has a bigger handle, but it works. It works well. It's a clip point blade. You can see that with a beautiful kind of, you know, nice big belly on the top here. It has a nice thumb hole and also has a nice fuller there. Both of them work. You can use both for reverse flicking, like you can get your finger in there, use this bottom one like that, reverse flick. You can put your thumb in there, reverse flick or thumb flick, right? So I like that. I like that a lot. Captive pivot, you can see that. Really nice. Love their logo on here. I think that's really cool. Even on here, it's a beautiful little logo. Just done nicely. Just a lot of aesthetics. Beautifully chamfered all the way around. No sharp edges anywhere. Even the clip, when you have it in hand, you do a squeeze test. I have large hands, right? So I've got plenty of room here, but if I choke up, beautiful finger jaw. So really lots of room for extra large, double extra large hands. I like that. Materials. It is cage bearing, works really beautifully, flawless. Action is wonderful. Omega springs in there for that crossbar lock, work really nicely. I like that a lot. Yeah, really nice, really, really nice. I love the thinness of this blade. It's very useful. It's got a nice swedge on top, so you could do some cuts. Big, beautiful belly, comes to a nice thin edge, super sharp. They do a great job of the heat treat. It's 6062 for Elmax, which is perfect. So really, really nice. Open and closing is great. Everything works fantastic. The finishing, all that stuff, there's no sharp on the back. It's really, really, really well thought out. The finishes are all there. I think that's just outstanding. Even for big, meaty fingers, I have plenty of room with that finger choke. All right, so let's do some measurements. Let me put the card out of the way here. Let's get a little weight on this knife. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone there. All right, so the knife weighs 4.7 ounces. Not bad. I mean, it is titanium. I believe it has a steel liner. Let me double check that. I believe it's a steel liner on there. Yeah, liner. Titanium handle over here for that part. Looks like steel there. Definitely milled out for weight relief. This could be heavier, but it's not. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Let's do the overall measurement length here. So overall measurement of this knife, if we do the measurement from here to here, we're looking at a knife that's going to be right at, I want to say 7 3/4 of an inch. From here, your handle length, you got about 3 3/4 of an inch if you go ahead and use that little part. If you use the finger choil, you then almost get 5 inches. It's like 4 3/4, 4 7/8, right? Overall blade length from the tip to the handle, we're looking at about 3 1/4 inches. Right, about 3 1/4 inches. The blade itself from here to the cutting edge, right here, if we're talking right there, we're like right at just under 3 inches, right? So it's like maybe 2.9 inches. So there you go. All right, so let's look at the blade stock thickness on that guy. I don't know if you noticed I got some new calibers here. I like these. This is the Miyoto. This is professional. So I wanted it to be a little better measurement, especially when I put skiffs in. And if I find a new measurement, I like to get that to Steve's skiff for him. So 130 thousandths of an inch. So 0.13 inches. Not bad. It's not super thick, but it's not super thin. It feels relatively thin because of the robustness thickness of the knife. So that is nice. Nice retention on the edge. Edge looks pretty evenly all the way across, I will tell you that. So what is the cost of this knife? So you're looking at a knife that's going to run, let me just double check here. Yeah, about $230. So it's definitely in the standard range. It's under $300. It's right in the middle of a regular knife. So this is not a super high-end knife or a custom knife. So it's very, very cool. I like it. I think it's definitely a knife worth considering. I think you would enjoy it, right? What's the purpose? It is definitely EDC. Is it hard use? Yeah, crossbar lock is very good hard use knife. Could it be a collection piece? Absolutely, it could be. If you love this design, you want to keep it. But to me, a knife in this price range with the materials, this is a user knife. I think so. I would not make this a collection piece, but you can make whatever you want a collection piece, right? That's your knife. You do what you want. But I like it. I think it's really good, going to be good for hard use. And this is relative to hard use for a folding knife. We're not talking fixed blade hard use because guess what? Get a fixed blade. We're not talking, you know, chopping down woods. Guess what? Get an axe, right? Use the right tool for the right thing. But if you're in a situation where you have to do hard use, I think this is a good tool. I think it could save your life, do what it needed to do when you needed to do it. Now, you know, are you risking the tool? Yeah, you are. But if you need the tool and it's that important, you got to do what you got to do. And I think it's a good tool. So I'll just say that. All right. Ergos and feel overall design. I like it. I like it. I like the handle. I like it how it feels in grip. I love the finger choil. I love the jimping here. I love the crossbar lock. The crossbar lock is executed really, really, really well. Everything works really nicely. The fuller, oops, sorry, get in there if you get your finger in there. Let me do that again, right? There you get, fuller works really well. The crossbar lock works really well. So, you know, you have lots of bonus opening and closes that works well right and left-handed. I like that. I like that a lot. I think there's so much there. The fidget factor on this one. Well, you got the thumb hole, right? You got the fuller, right? Both front and reverse. You got the crossbar lock, and all this works really nicely left-handed. So for me, this is a solid, I'm gonna say 7.5. Solid 7.5. We rounded up to 8. So 8 on the fidget factor. They've done an outstanding job. After a long time of not giving higher numbers, this is really cool. The last few knives have really been phenomenal, and I've been able to do that. Great, great, great knife. So I want to say that. It's a 7.5. What's the fidgety goodness? It is definitely a 95. It's an A+. Is it 100? No, it's not. There's a few things, right? There's a few things. It's not terrible, but, you know, yeah, the Omega spring could be just a hair tighter. Yeah, it came with other springs. It's not my knife. I'm not going to replace it. So you're not going to get me to do that. I'm not going to go get some custom springs, put it in. This is not my knife. It's a loaner knife. It's part of the pass around. So I'm going to treat it and leave it in the condition that it was given to me in. I'm not going to do anything to it, right? I'm appreciative to be allowed to check this out. So, but definitely a solid 95. I think that's amazing. So overall, final thoughts. Is it recommended? Absolutely. I'm going to be getting one. If I get the one I want, I'm going to be getting one. This is that good. This is everything I was hoping the Padre would be, because this is, I feel like I can really beat up and use this knife. That's what I like about this. There's no blade play. There's no pivot rock. It closes in with that crossbar lock really nicely. I mean, it's always going to roll. You can always see how it rolls over the bar. And that's the thing. This is not detent lash because it doesn't have a detent, right? But yeah, it's absolutely recommended. I think you would enjoy this knife if you've been on the fence and you thought, maybe go for it. If you thought you'd like to get it, but you absolutely weren't sure, go for it. You know, I really highly recommend this knife. I think you'll enjoy it. I will be enjoying this knife hopefully soon if I can get it before it sells out. So yeah, there we go. Great, great, great little knife. I'm definitely going to recommend that. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions for the channel about this review, let me know. I'd love to hear from you as well. I do try to reply to all my comments as much as I can. As the channel grows, it becomes a little more challenging, but I definitely try to go out of my way to do so because I appreciate you guys, every one of you. So if you found this content fun, interesting, or worthwhile, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to grow, produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to every one of you, especially if you watch the video, you like the videos, and you subscribe. Man, I appreciate you. And if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content. And to all my channel members, man, I appreciate you and thank you. Really. If you've been on the fence and you thought, I would love to become a channel member, I would love to have you. I'd be honored. Check out the description down below. There's a link there. 3 different tiers. We'd love to have you. Some of you guys have been here since the beginning, and I appreciate you. And for those of you who are new or here, I do a once a month giveaway for all channel members. It's my small way to say thank you. Right? And then if you're a brand new channel member or you've been a channel member for a while and you haven't emailed me, email me with your name and address. I'll mail you out a sticker. I want to give everybody a sticker, right? And if you're like the top level, the uber nerd, you get a special sticker. And you know, the knife nut and the knife nerds, you get some extra content, some other things. I try to make it worth your while. I realize it's your choice, your decision if you want to help, and I'm grateful for whatever, right? Just watching the videos. I appreciate you guys enjoying the videos and watching them. Hopefully you find something in there. That is always my hope, right? So thank you. Yeah. Oh, and if you haven't already, maybe if I can get my card over here, if you haven't already, check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thank you so much for watching today. Y'all have a great day and a great week. Bye.